Bubbins founded Friends of Brook Park in 1999. Since then, Harry, with other local residents, has been gardening and restoring the natural beauty all over the Bronx and New York. They've got some new projects in the works and an exciting announcement about the Bronx-Kill waterway, as Con Edison has agreed to remove the cables that have been blocking the Bronx-Kill from rowers and canoers. Welcome, Harry, to the show, and I'm really interested in hearing how this came about, because taking on Con Edison and getting them to do something that would be so beneficial to local residents must not have been an easy task. So tell us about that success story.
Sure, it wasn't. It's always a challenge to fight, just like our friends in Greece fighting the austerity cuts, who I support. Ever since the early 2000s, we've been paddling on the Bronx-Kill and looking to replicate the successes, as you mentioned, of the Bronx River and spread that kind of resource and attention to the southern tip of the Bronx. So we realized early on that due to the tide variations that the Con Edison cables, which carry electricity from the South Bronx to the Upper East Side, would prohibit the appropriate navigation of the waterway. So we wrote a letter to the mayor, to the EDC, to Con Ed in 2008, indicating our concern and that in fact it was illegal given our legal research. And as these things sometimes take time, and with the support of numerous other groups, including New York City Water Trail Association, finally this year, Con Ed, to their credit, committed to remove that.
Did you have any assistance, any political intervention in this cause and helping to make it happen?
Some of our local elected officials did get involved, and Congressman Serrano's staff were at the table for numerous meetings, which we were really grateful for, and they were also looking to identify some resources for further restoration of this wonderful waterway.
So for our viewers, where exactly is the location of the Bronx-Kill and where these cables currently are that Con Edison will be removing?
Sure. Well, the Bronx-Kill is a lovely mile-long waterway that connects the Harlem River to the East River. So those who come to and fro the Bronx across the Triborough Bridge or Willis Avenue Bridge, they would be able to see the Bronx-Kill. And these electrical cables are actually under the Amtrak viaduct, the train that goes from Penn Station up to Boston and beyond. So you can't see it unless you're down by the water, and they're going to be removed.
And how long will that process take?
Well, this kind of attention we hope will keep the fire under Con Ed to live up to their commitment, and they said by the end of this year or early next year at the latest.
So later this year or early next year at the latest?
Yes.
So given the history of moving such things along and all of the bureaucracy involved, perhaps, are you actually relying on that representation?
Well, we're relying on fellow Bronxites to stay involved in this issue with us. We're also, this summer, thanks to support from the Simone Bolivar Foundation, we'll be doing an expanded canoe program on the Bronx-Kill for local Bronxites to come out there. It's a very narrow waterway, and it's very safe because there's no other traffic on it, so it's an ideal opportunity to introduce young people. And the more youth and families we have involved, the more people we'll have involved to ask for more resources to enhance it.
And what is the launch point for that canoeing experience?
As some of your viewers may know, the entire southern Bronx has not a single waterfront park, and I'm talking from 149th Street up to Hunts Point. There's no official spot in Port Morris, Mont Haven to get to the water. So at this time, unfortunately, we have to go to Randall's Island, the northwest shore, to actually land or launch a boat through this program, but that will also reintroduce the Bronxites to Randall's Island, a park that we've kind of been cut off from when they try to give it away to private schools.
The park itself, the Randall's Island Park?
Randall's Island, yeah. It's very challenging to get to, unfortunately, and the way they have the permit structures and the private artificial turf ball fields that they try to give to Upper East Side and Riverdale schools exclusively, it's kind of alienated our community that used to walk there to fish, to picnic, to recreate in a variety of manners rather than have to pay a big toll and a big permit fee and those kind of things.
So you want to move that launch site from Randall's Island to somewhere between 149 and Hunts Point?
Well, we're glad for more launch sites. That's why the New York City Water Trail Association, which has been advocating for a blue trail network throughout the city, was so important in this issue. So we want more launch sites on Randall's Island, but we want some in the South Bronx too. And we've identified a number of spots at Park Avenue, at Lincoln Avenue, at 132nd Street. In fact, there used to be a fishing pier that our community used to be able to use. So there's a number of sites with the right resources and attention we can make happen.
Wow. And can you tell us a little bit about the more than $30 million that through Congressman Serrano's efforts, as I read in a release, directed to the Bronx River restoration in conjunction with the Urban Waters Federal Partnership Program. How helpful has that been in your efforts?
Well, the example of the Bronx River success is something we want to replicate throughout the Bronx, and we want to bring that same kind of attention to the Harlem River, which we helped start the Harlem River Working Group to kind of mirror what was happening in the Bronx River with more of a grassroots influence, and responding to that kind of concern throughout the country. Congressman Serrano and others created this Federal Urban Waters Partnership, of which Bronx River and Harlem River are one of 7 selected nationwide, and we're hoping that the $30 million that over the years has gone to the Bronx River to create the wonderful successes there, some of that attention now will come to the west side of the Bronx on the Harlem River, and we're confident that this partnership is going to be a good catalyst for that.
But that $30 million has nothing to do necessarily with Con Edison and the removal of those cables, or is that part and parcel of the effort?
It doesn't, but just having that kind of investment in resources and attention led Con Ed to conclude that there's a change going on in the Bronx, and they can't just keep doing business as usual.
And it would stand to reason, or at least pretty obvious to me, that the removal of those cables, the introduction of this, of the openness, if you will, of this waterway to allow for canoeing and kayaking, is also contributing to the improvement of the environment, I would guess.
Absolutely. Once somebody gets actually on the water and sees an egret or sees a crab, they have a newfound respect for the waterways. And just one generation ago, old-timers from the block on 141st Street, they used to go fishing, they used to go catch eels, they used to go swimming in the East River one generation ago. So a little more time and attention and actual experience in the waterway will lead to significant improvement in the environment.
And are any of your projects geared to coincide with some of the efforts and objectives of the Federal Partnership Program as it relates to the creation of jobs, which of course is foremost on so many people's minds?
Sure. Well, the green economy is here, and everyone's talking about the environment and how we have to get to renewable energies, get off nuclear power. There's a lot of energy opportunities in turbines in the rivers. They have pilot projects on Roosevelt Island. Learning how to install, how to manufacture those locally is a great green job opportunity. Restoration of the shoreline of the Harlem River, of which there's no dearth of opportunities given it's about 8 miles long, and we can be implementing, as they have elsewhere, mollusk and oyster restoration projects, training young people to have jobs.
Outstanding. Well, Harry, thank you so much for being with us, and for our viewers, for more information on the Friends of Brook Park, you can contact 646-648-4362, and they'll be happy to share additional information with you. But please